Hello, you're listening to Questboard, a podcast where we make up random side quests. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Tiffany. And just so you know, we are not professional writers in any way, shape, or form. At least we don't claim to be. We just really like tabletop RPGs, and we do this for fun.
You know, when we started this podcast, it was just like me thinking, we could, once we get popular enough, we could actually have the hookup on things.
Yeah.
And then as we started doing this more and more, I realized we're so niche. I don't think we'll ever get the hookup.
I know, we're unique. We're special.
But now we actually have a connection. We're doing another of Metal Magic episode.
Woo!
But normally we have a table that of his previous releases that we have that we thought were cool. The creator actually emailed us and asked, hey, we have one that's coming out in like September. Do you want just to make this beforehand before it releases? And this episode should come out at roughly the same time. So now we have the inside edition of something that's not even out yet.
I'm so excited.
And it feels like we're a lot bigger than what we really are. And now my ego is completely inflated.
Your pants getting too big there.
No, it's my head. That's where the ego is.
I know. Or no, getting too big for your britches. Is that the saying? I don't know. Anyway.
That's old people speak. And we're not there yet.
I like hanging out with my Nana, okay? She's got some great sayings, like slicker than snot.
Older people also say has phrases that do not do well in today's times.
Oh, no, I don't use those.
Oh, okay. Maybe not learn the lingo from old times. That's all I'm saying.
No. I learn the lingo, and then I learn the context of the lingo, and then I learn which ones not to say.
I mean, okay, fine.
Or it's like, what my great Aunt Bert used to say. My farts smell like baby's breath and lavender. Both of which really stink, by the way, to me.
Just, no.
The flowers, baby's breath, by the way. They stink. And I hate the smell of lavender, so therefore, accurate.
Just the phrase, no.
Yeah.
No.
Aunt Bert's special. She's unique. Absolutely love her.
Why are we talking about this?
I brought up old people, and those are old people in my life.
God. This is spiraling out of control. We're never going to get exclusive thing ever again.
I know. I'm sorry. I ruin everything I touch.
Well, we have to make it up by making a good quest.
Yeah. The best part is neither of us have read this yet.
No. Well, I avoid it because I tend to linger on it in my mind.
And I just didn't read it.
And we just fully put in the trust that, hey, of Metal Magic requested this of us. So, of course, we're going to do one that they suggest.
Complete trust here.
And so, I think in the beginning, we always say, if you want to check out Of Metal Magic, there will be a link in the description. You could check out their other stuff. They constantly update for new posters and all that stuff, including the one we're going to do now.
Yay.
So, I need to pull up the email. Would you like to read it, or shall I read it?
I can read it. Have you seen my wagon? The wagon drove itself off while I was unloading at the market. No driver in its seat, no horses hitched to the front. I chased it as far as the southern gate, but I couldn't keep up as it sped away. It's an integral part of my livelihood, and very much need it back as soon as possible. Please bring any information to Arryk Farms, Arryk. We have a self-driving wagon, folks.
It even comes with a drawing of it, which
I know,
is
it's
nice
a really
drawing.
nicely drawn wagon, too. I like the little posts on it. If you guys get a chance, definitely go look this up on Of Metal Magic. It is a really cute little wagon. Or if you're watching the YouTube video, you're looking at it right now.
Oh, you're actually going to post it up there?
I always put it on the YouTube videos.
I watch it, yes, I swear. I don't like hearing myself. So my first thought, what if, because it sounds like it's a farmer whose wagon has got drove off. Mm-hmm. What if this farmer bought a cheap wagon because really needs to make ends meet kind of thing?
Right.
But buying it really cheap, bought a cursed or possessed wagon.
Ooh.
But then I don't know why it would need to roll off on its own.
It has a mind of its own. It wants to go on journeys. My thought was there is some sort of trickster creature or something that is known for hitching itself to wagons and tearing away with them. Tearing away?
Can we just make the wagon mimic?
Giant mimic.
There's no giant mimic rolling down.
We've already done an episode where the thing was a mimic.
Well, we did with the mug.
Yeah.
Now with the whole wagon.
That's true. So what? It just wants to go on journeys?
I don't know.
I really like the idea. I'm just having trouble coming up with what do this thing?
If it's like a creature or something like that that's grabbed the wagon kind of thing, stole it, why would they need no offense to this farmer, a shabby wooden wagon?
It's an integral part of their livelihood. Maybe they don't have enough money to get a new one, and that's how they...
No, I'm sorry. I'm not talking about the farmer wanting it. I'm talking about whoever stole it.
Oh.
Why would they need that wagon specifically, or a wooden crappy wagon?
Well, it's like what I'm saying is this creature or whatever it is that's done this just takes joy in pulling a wagon around. It doesn't care what state the wagon is in. It's just having a blast, running away with this wagon. Maybe it takes joy in seeing people chase it. It's just a trickster. Maybe it's like the ghost of like a horse for pulling wagons. I'm brain farting on like a Clydesdale or something, like a wagon horse, donkey.
A horse that
Mule.
like even after it dies, it still wants to work.
Yeah. Some horses...
That's depressing.
That would be depressing. But there are some animals that take pride, or not pride necessarily, but actually take joy in getting to do the thing they do. Sometimes they're excited. Like you'll see horses that are hitched up to a wagon and they're sitting there like quick stepping, like just tapping their hooves really fast. Like they're excited. They want to get going. And as soon as they are given the go ahead, they're pulling hard. They're excited. They're doing the thing that they were made to do. Sometimes it's fun for them.
Sorry, while you were talking that entire time, I was trying to think of something, which we do a lot on this podcast. Don't make it sound like I'm a jerk or anything. We both do this.
Oh, no. There's many times I don't listen to him.
I was just thinking, like, what if we make this something that leads into something? Because we do that plenty of times, where the post is just a catalyst that leads into a bigger thing.
I do still like the idea that the wagon's a mimic, though. I think that's funny.
Then it's not much, but...
Yeah, I know.
If we go along the lines of like a invisible creature stealing the wagon,
okay,
what if it's like a fake creature that then rides off into the woods, and now you have to deal with like the fae in the woods?
That's always fun.
But then I don't know why would they need a wagon.
Yeah,
but
usually
then
with
that
fae,
could just lead down the avenue of like dealing with the fae.
Yeah, usually with the fae though, they're trying to kidnap a person, so they would have waited until the farmer was on the wagon to take off with it.
True. I'm just trying to think of like, there's not much others like that's quote unquote invisible that could like take a wagon.
Yeah. Or here's a thought. Maybe it was just something really small and the farmer didn't see it. Something really small and powerful that just grabs the wagon and bolts.
Like what?
I don't know. I was hoping your very smart brain would think of something while I was talking.
Well, okay, what if, stupid approach, what if like the Eric family is cursed, where they were cursed by an old farmhand in which maybe died because they were forced to walk a long distance, so then cursed this family to always have to walk themselves.
May your wagons always run away from you.
And I don't know.
It's quite the curse.
It's a stupid curse, but...
Here's another one. May all your soufflés flop.
Now you're just going weird directions.
No, I'm just going off of may all your bacon burn. Honestly, that's one of the best you can ever imagine. Thank you, Howl's Moving Castle, for bringing that to my life.
Some people like very crispy bacon.
I like it crispy. I don't like it burnt.
Some people like that.
Okay, it's a good curse for somebody who doesn't like burnt bacon. There.
But then you can't really tell when you curse someone.
Not unless you know the person.
Yeah, but if you know them well enough, unless you have a huge vendetta. This is stupid.
Bacon debates.
We haven't found a direction yet.
Yes, the wagon went away. That's our direction.
Yes, but why? That's the direction we need to go.
I know. It could be the ghost of his old horse that died.
You're still on that, huh?
I'm still on that. Like, he got a new horse, and this one is jealous because...
But why wouldn't that ghost horse then just attack the new horse?
Because it wasn't hitched up. It wanted to pull the wagon.
But then if it's jealous, it would just possess or kill the new horse.
Well, they didn't say what happened to the horse that's not hitched up at this point. Or mule.
What happens? Well, it says, yeah, while I was unloading from market.
No driver in its seat and no horses hitched to the front.
Wait, so when you go to, now I'm
So
sorry
okay,
of
okay.
metal magic right now. I'm sorry.
No. Here's the logic here.
Who would go unloading to the market and unhitch the horse? You just leave the horse hitch if you're just going up there to unload.
If the horses spook, then your wagon's running away. You would unhitch the horses and stable them nearby while you slowly unload the wagon.
I think they're more well trained than that.
Horses spook very easily.
Unless they're trained.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Even trained horses can spook very easily. Also, why would a farmer have hyper-trained horses? This is just a regular wagon horse. Maybe blinders. Like, that's why they put blinders on horses so they don't spook as much. But honestly, unhitching them while you are actively stepping on and off the wagon is a very smart idea. It's like putting on the parking brake, essentially. That wagon's not going to run away if there's no horses attached to it. So that's the logic I'm seeing here. Unfortunately, the wagon has run away. Why?
You know what? You know what we could go?
Oh no. You had a thought.
We could cause the players to think it could be a ghost, spirit, fae, or whatever, and have them investigate, like try to research, when the entire time it was just he parked on top of a hill and it was gravity.
It was gravity all along.
It was just gravity.
He forgot to put the stops in.
Yeah, he didn't think about that, and just like it rolled.
Or some kids ran by and were like, oh, hey, what's this random log? And pull it out. And so his wagon starts rolling away. And he's like, it started driving on its own. Oh, you know, there are some parts of the world where due to the landscape around you, it looks like you're facing uphill, but really you're facing downhill. Yeah. So maybe it was that kind of situation. Like the landscape.
Have you seen that video where it was like a ghost story?
I've seen
where it was like a road that leads up to a train crossing.
No, I don't know.
And the ghost story is if you leave it in neutral, they say that it's ghost kids, like spirits of children pushing your car because they got hit by the train and they didn't want anyone else to like die from it.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that
But
one.
then they did surveyors and proved that no, it's just slightly downhill. So when you put it in neutral, you just slowly get pushed and you move so slowly. It's like, oh yeah, small children are pushing it. And then they claim they see handprints on the back, but that's most likely you just closing your trunk.
Yeah, there's always handprints on the back of your trunk.
Yeah, and that's what they claim.
I haven't seen that one. I've seen another one. I think it was a road in England. There's like this hedge that goes next to it. And the way the landscape around it is positioned looks like you're driving uphill, but really you're actually driving downhill. So if you put your car in neutral, it will just roll what appears to be uphill.
So that's what happened with this wagon?
That's totally what's happening with this wagon.
Are we totally doing this?
Oh, we're totally doing this.
But then, okay, so they just find it outside the city and that's it?
Pretty much. Maybe they find it with some animals or something hanging out on it. Like, it was the raccoons or something.
Okay, so how do we convince the party? Because we're going to have to do it where for our enjoyment and hopefully the DM's enjoyment, we have to convince the party to do a bunch of research first.
Right.
Before leaving the city and just seeing it like in a ditch.
So part of it's mad escape. It turns a corner. Like it actually turns a corner. And so the farmer will be like, it turned the corner and everything. I have no idea how it did this. When really either it hit a rock which turned the front axle and caused it to perfectly turn a corner, or it's just following wagon ruts that it's stuck in.
Like natural grooves that happens over time. Yeah. But okay, that still doesn't answer my question. How do we convince the party to do a bunch of research and seeing if it's a ghost, spirit, fae, whatever?
Maybe it ends in a ring of mushrooms. Like it just ends up off the side of the road or something because it finally bumped out of the rut and comes to a stop in a ring of mushrooms. So then they're thinking, oh, this is fae.
I was thinking like, I don't know, like the farmer or like people around who saw it happen are very superstitious people and talk about it.
I mean, yeah, they could do that too.
I was thinking like things to get the party to do before they leave the town and just see it in a ditch? Because I think that has to be the realization point that's like,
more
none
likely
of this
than
happened.
not, the farmer is going to be like, something stole it. Something ran away with it. There's no way it could go rolling away uphill like that. Because they all think that's uphill.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know, maybe he thought he saw a small form sitting on the thing. Well, no, it says no driver in its seat.
No, but it'll be like, I don't know, at the spot that it was from, like initially he left it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It could be just like one of the like shop owners or something that's like right next to it. It's like, yeah, my grandpappy would just talk about like this. It's clearly Fae creatures stealing from, something like that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the Fae. They steal from us all the time.
And then someone else is like, oh no, this is clearly a possession. Or,
it's spooks, I tell you, spooks.
It's just, but then how do we like say, hey, you need to research this instead of them just assuming and just like, okay, well, prepare for a fight or something like that.
Maybe the characters themselves, the players themselves will be like, all right, we got to get down to the bottom of this. We got to figure out what's going on here. Is it ghosts? Is it Fae? Is it random happenstance?
Yeah,
Let's find out.
Most D&D parties won't do that. They'll be like, okay, so it's something, one of these. We're just going to go over there, and if we encounter it, we're going to kill it.
Okay, insert note for DM to just say, hey, now is your chance to research what happened here. A little bit more hand-holdy.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. I don't know.
I have no idea.
You can have various witnesses, I did air quotes on that, say, oh, I definitely saw something sitting on the seat of it, when really the angle they were watching it roll by from, there's a statue across the road, and what they thought they saw sitting on the seat was actually one of the figures in the statue. You're
trying to justify their perspectives.
Yes.
And yes, but
so if they talk to various witnesses around town, you'll get different points of view of what happened here. So then they can go and research, like follow where the wagon would have gone and eventually maybe find it sitting in, like, I imagine the wagon sitting in like this cute little clearing with like sunbeams coming down on it. Like it's finally free and enjoying nature.
I was picturing it just in a ditch, and that's when they realize, oh, nothing happened to it.
Or it's in a ditch. Honestly, wherever you want them to find it, that's where it is.
Oh, hang on. Not a ditch. If we do your idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the horror movie where the scariest things aren't what you show the players, but what they imagine it to be.
Yeah.
Because if we fill their minds with, oh, it could be Fae, it could be ghosts, it could be this or that,
mm-hmm.
having a clearing, and just like if there was a ring of like, I want mushrooms.
Ring of stones, ring of mushrooms.
Well, stones, it'll be hard for it to actually naturally roll into it.
Not if it goes right in between two of them.
Okay, if you're thinking like Stonehenge size.
Yes.
I was thinking just like something that's...
If they were smaller stones, maybe they just fit right through the wheel.
But something that's suspicious.
Suspicious, yes.
In which then they'll be so timid to actually go in or do something.
Yeah.
And if they just waste like 30 minutes of rolls after rolls in which the DM constantly says, you see nothing, you detect nothing, you sense nothing.
I love this.
And it's just their own paranoia.
Yes.
Okay, so this entire quest is a troll quest like we've done, I think, a couple times before.
I love troll quests, honestly. It's like, it was gravity, guys. Gravity stole the wagon.
But we're setting up so that they're paranoid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we're fully setting them up to be paranoid. Everyone in town has some sort of supernatural suspicion as to why this wagon rolled off on its own. The farmer tried to chase it, but it was going too fast because gravity. And maybe he tripped over something and fell, and it just turned the corner and left without him.
I mean, the farmer could be just an old man or older.
True. Could also be an old man. And yeah, it's an integral part of his livelihood.
You know what? Can you give me a name for the old man or woman? We said man. Might as well just make it man.
We've said man. I'm liking this name, Emil. Emil.
Emil Eric.
Eric.
The current owner of the farm.
Yes.
Or farms.
Yes. Apparently it's multiple farms. Maybe it's a family thing.
Well, I mean, when they say farms, that usually implies what? Multiple, like, growing... Because one farm would produce one produce? Is it, like, just multiple fields? And then you could call farms?
No, usually you can call one farm even if it produces multiple different things. I'm thinking of it as he has multiple sons that have branched out and
Oh,
own the fields like around him. And so they're just one kind of like conglomerate of farms.
okay. I have no idea about how you could like label as farms
Oh,
or
I don't
just a
know either.
single farm.
I'm spitballing here. I
Either
think
that or they bought out other farms.
on another possibility. So, yep, don't know at what point it becomes farms over farm. I might research that later just out of sheer curiosity.
Okay, so what was the name again? Emil. That's
Emil.
what it was. So Emil Eric would, if they talk to him, he'll be like, I could show you where it is. I was here, all that stuff. And then just pointing, quote unquote, uphill is like, went that way kind of thing, right out of town, this and that. The neighboring shops would pipe in with their thing and just hype it up.
Yeah.
In which then they will finally find it in the nearby forest.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be just in a oddly weird clearing in the middle, right in the middle somehow. It won't be that hard. You'll see tracks like tread into the ground and you can see where it diverged off of the path. It'll be super easy to find.
Right. The farmer was just too superstitious to go after it.
Yeah, because think, oh, this might be something was behind this because that's impossible. And then that's when the neighbors will chime in. It's like, it's clearly this. Maybe Emil doesn't know. Like, I have no idea or anything like that. Doesn't have any theories.
Right. He's just no driver, no horses. It's gone.
But that's when the neighbors actually put in their theories.
And it says here, it chased it as far as the southern gate, but couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
So it just got away from him.
And so then it's just nothing. And you will never tell your players that it was nothing. It'll just, you'll grab it and then you'll take it. And then they'll be confused and you just don't ever bring it up and you never reveal it to them until you finish the campaign. Or until you take it to your grave. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm more of the type that will take it to my grave because that's funnier.
No, if they really go in depth and start researching how this could have happened and start actually like rolling stuff on the ground or things like that, then I'll be like, oh yeah, no, it appears to roll uphill. Strange.
They're never going to investigate the hill. They will never do that.
They might.
I doubt it because you're in a land of fantasy. They're probably going to look up this, that. They're probably going to look up curses. They're going to look up like any magical aura or traces of like detect magic or anything on that thing, which none of it will be there.
Ooh, I have another good rumor for it. So at one point, it hits like a bag of flour or something. And so there's like a poof of white around it. And then passes through like the sunbeams coming down a specific way, which makes that glow in a red or orange like fashion. So somebody might say, oh man, I saw it tear by me. It had an orange glow about it and everything.
You could just say any villager has their own wild theory. You don't have to actually physically justify it.
No, but it's more fun to give them something to figure out.
Yeah, it's whatever the DM feels
honestly
on just adding that. But if you just imply fae, ghosts, a trickster, demon, or something like that.
Yeah, could be.
A curse, or magic, or even a mimic.
Yeah.
Then if you imply all those, they're going to be paranoid. That if you overwhelm them with that many, they might actually start doing research. I don't know. Really depends on the party. You need to know your players.
Right.
Then they might actually research it. And then they're going to be paranoid when they finally find it. Especially if they think it's cursed or a mimic.
Right.
If they ever attack it, give the wagon actual hit points.
Oh, yeah. I think...
And then they have a chance of actually breaking it.
There might be something like in... Like, well, for D&D specifically, there might be something in the Dungeon Master's guide for giving inanimate objects hit points and stuff.
Well, I know that in the Dungeon Master's guide, there are some materials that have AC.
Yeah.
Like wood, stone, paper.
Nice.
I think I remember seeing paper having a higher AC than a wizard. Because then it was joked that A wizard could just put on paper, surround himself in paper, and he'll have 2 more AC than what he would have.
That actually reminds me of an amazing series of books. The first one, I'm trying to remember the name of the first one. Oh, it's like Into the Labyrinth or something like that. But there's a character in that who is a paper wizard. Because everyone within that series of books has like an affinity for some sort of either element or random object. In this case, he's a paper wizard. He's also an ink wizard, but that's beside the point. He creates armor made out of paper. And the only reason it's actually good armor is because he layers and layers and layers it. He has origami armor.
Until it rains, then he's useless.
Yes, actually, it's an issue. Water is an issue for him.
Well, as you can tell, we pretty much made something, so we're going on weird tangents.
Yeah, why not? Anyway, I really like this. I like the fact that it's actually nothing. It's gravity that stole the wagon.
Yeah, we made a troll quest, I guess.
Those are the best kind. Trolling your players is way too much fun.
It has to be used sparingly.
Yes, you can't.
Or
have
else they
every
get
quest
sick of it, or they never trust any hook that you will ever do ever again.
That is true. You gotta build a little bit of trust. And in this case, maybe the farmer gives them like, oh yeah, we never like discussed what the reward is because it doesn't say specifically on here. It's just, have you seen my wagon?
Well, it would be just like some food supply, some produce, because if it's an integral part of their livelihood,
yeah,
they don't have that much money.
Right. So I think it would definitely be supplies, and so that will allow them to travel the next few days or something. Maybe give them this quest before a grand adventure, and he can help supply them for that adventure with food and stuff.
Well, if they're low level, I think it needs to be medium level, because then as a meta standpoint, I feel like if I was level 1 and the DM playing this, I'll be like, there's no way you're tossing me against these high level things.
Mm.
You know what I mean? There's a little bit of meta.
Mimics aren't that powerful.
They're challenge rating 3.
Okay, never mind, they're that powerful.
But if I was like level 7 or 8,
mm-hmm.
and then this came up, I'll be like, okay, there is a chance that I will have to fight a Fae or Phase
That's
or
true.
Ghost. Those are all distinct possibilities of something that I will have to face.
Mm-hmm.
So then I would actually be worried that I'm actually doing that.
And honestly,
there is some meta to this.
You can build up their skepticism before this by throwing random crap at them and have them be like, there's no way that's just a regular wagon. It's something. Like, you can make them a little paranoid of you if you want.
They're never going to fall for that.
You know, players will literally poke everything with a 10-foot pole before going near it.
Well, yes, that's why we do the whole. It could be any of these creatures from the neighbors or the shopkeeps.
Yeah.
But anyways, would like to thank Of Metal Magic for providing this one.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this, be sure to actually check them out. You could get a copy of that lovely image if you want to use this in your own game.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if you do put it into your own game and if your party gets super paranoid.
Yeah, let us know what lengths they went to figure out what's wrong with this wagon.
Yeah. Let us know the stupid strategies they did for nothing that's going to happen.
How long did it take them to get into the Circle of Stones?
You can let us know on down in the comments on our YouTube video, or you could tweet us on X at QuestboardPod. And if you want to check out Of Metal Magic, they have plenty of other stuff. Eventually, hopefully, we'll get through some of those.
We're working on it.
Slowly. And I think with that, I wish you all a good night.
And happy questing.